Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars and the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. We live and love that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploding like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're a force can't fight. From sports to politics.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. It's Monday. It's friggin' cold. And yeah, it's Ken, and I'm without Ken or Joe this morning so far. We'll see if Joe makes it. I know Ken can't make it today. But yeah, right now it's just me. Fred. Good morning, Fred. It's cold, I'm sure, where you're at. I'm sure the trucks are getting ready to roll. What a weekend, right? Drama. Just drama. I mean, before Fred tells me. Let's go there, Fred. Thank you. Congratulations to U.S. Hockey. In general, not just the men and the women, right? So U.S. Hockey goes 12-0 in the tournament between both teams. Canada goes 9-3. All three of their losses come to Team USA. What a game though yesterday, and both gold medal games and an overtime winners. Unreal. And yet, just like many Bears fans, people are mad about it. I don't even know if I want to go there. Yep, golden goals, man. Beautiful thing. USA Hockey is back. I love it. I wish football, for not having football this weekend, I'm not unhappy, man. I am not unhappy. It is really nice to see some good sports. And that was some good sports this weekend. Of course, the aftermath has been anything but. Now people are mad at the U.S. national hockey team for being too patriotic and all kinds of other stupidity. We just can't be happy with our sports teams anymore. And of course, we got the whole Bears issue with the stadium. We spent all day on House Hall yesterday talking about it. There's still no new resolution. The state of Illinois hasn't come back with anything. Nothing. I haven't seen anything new. Official, at least, come from the Bears or from Indiana or from Illinois. Look at. There are certain Bears fans out there like, oh, the Bears aren't going to leave. We have to protect. Governor Pritzker is protecting the taxpayers' money. Okay. How do I break this down Barney style for people? Oh, you can just tell it's going to be that kind of morning. Oh, thank you, Joe. I'm just, before we go to the Bears thing, rest in peace, Rondell Moore. Another NFL suicide, that's 2 this year. Man, and trust me, coming from my profession, 22 a day is a thing. Man, if you need help, reach out, man. There's no reason to make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. Fred typed it as I was saying it. Man, good morning, Joe. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. Just
I was talking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, just dealing with my own stuff, like the school and the DOR. They're like months and months behind on my tuition, so the school's like, you owe us like $15,000, and I'm like, no, I don't owe you anything. Like, these people owe you, like, and they haven't paid you. Like, I'm sorry, but you know,
Yeah, like what do you know? I can't do anything about that. I know it's the world we live in right now, dude. It's freaking nuts.
yeah.
Well, I hope they take care of your tuition situation. I mean, obviously, I know you're covered. Hopefully, the school. I don't get the school knows this. The school should know this. Why? I mean, I guess the school wants you to put more pressure on them. I get it. At the same time, it's like, dude, you're the school. They've made this commitment. Why don't you talk to them?
Well,
Me
they've
talking
already
to them.
in. That's the thing. They've already invoiced them, and like they're still waiting on payment from last semester. Like, so it's like we're already halfway through this semester. You
Who is
know,
it that owes the money, that's paying the money?
the Department of Rehabilitation in California. It's a state agency,
State agency.
so it's
Yeah,
basically it's guaranteed. Like,
yeah.
you know, but it's
Look,
just they take their sweet ass time with paying.
yeah.
And in the meantime, the school won't, like, usually. So now the school won't give me my student loans unless, like, they have the guarantee from the Department of Rehabilitation. Well, they've already invoiced them for this semester, but the person that I'm dealing with in student financial services, she doesn't know that I already, like, have worked out something with the head of student financial services. So I had to tell her, like, look, he's already said as long as you guys have a written guarantee from the state that, like, you can go ahead and refund me my student loans. Why don't you go confer with him, then come back to me, and then you can start working on my refund, like, you know.
Oh, but that would be them actually having to do work, and you can't have people actually do work. I mean, just like you can't have people actually support Team USA at a gold medal game without creating a ballyhoo uproar. I mean, God, I wish everything would be just. It just Joe. It boggles my mind, man. It boggles my mind. I mean, you might have to do a congressional.
Dude, I support Team USA. Like, I'm glad they won. They, Canada's like the powerhouse team in hockey, and the
Oh yeah.
US knocked them off the
Oh, no, but
mountain.
there's
So
outrage. There's outrage because of the picture, because of the celebration, because of who showed up to the game. Just like with your loan thing, it's like, dude, simple stuff, right? Like your loan is simple. Like you said, just go talk to the director. He'll let you know that, hey, we've already worked something out and you can work this. Oh, but that'll create too much work. But I was saying you might have to do what we call in the military circles a congressional. Write to your congressman, say, hey, look, this state agency is failing me. I need your support to make them do their job. I mean, it's sad that we have to do these kinds of things, but the congressional won't work because they're too busy fighting the federal government on federal immigration law on the local level. So I don't know. You might not get any joy there, but you might have to, go the political route to the politician and say, hey, um, our state agency that's supposed to be doing this job isn't. Once again, making people do what they're already supposed to be doing. Oh, Joe, this whole weekend it's funny because like I'm elated from the men's and the women's hockey team, right? What a great outcome. Like you said, Canada is a powerhouse. What a game yesterday. Everyone's mad because the post game. I love my country. I'm happy. This is for my country. And they're mad at him for saying that.
are we not allowed to celebrate Olympic gold medal victories anymore? Like,
No, Cash Patel especially. If you're a member of the U.S. federal government, you're not supposed to.
I
Um,
see that to me, it's like, why even have the Olympics if you're not allowed to, especially if you have a team that has historically been the powerhouse team and you are able to knock them off the mountain. That doesn't happen all the time. So why can't you celebrate? Like, why
I,
can't you
I,
be happy? I don't understand. It's like the US just won the gold in women's figure skating too. Like, and that Japanese, the Japanese girl, I forget her name, the one who came in second. I was watching with my daughter. We were at Mountain Mike's Pizza having lunch, and they happened to have the figure skating final round, where they were
Mhm.
doing their. And I was like, I thought that Japanese girl was really good, dude. I was
And you
like,
know what I
man,
like
she's gonna
about
be
her
hard to
win?
beat.
You know what I like about her win? She was like so like the Olympic spirit was there. You know what I'm saying? She got the other two girls. They all did posed a bunch of pictures together, had a good time. Like look at what we just did. It wasn't look how awesome I am. It was joy. which is what sports is supposed to be. But now the political realm is invading sports at such a prolific rate. We're not allowed to be happy for Team USA. The Bears thing is, we'll dive into that in a minute. This whole thing is just, it's getting to be ridiculous. NFL is just going down some weird places. Then we have a player suicide, which gets brushed over. It gets brushed over by everyone.
Has it gotten to the point where the U.S. winning Olympic gold is racist now?
Yes. The Huffington Post wrote and we're not trying to be political here, but this is sports related. The Huffington Post did an article on why it's okay that you feel icky that U.S. athletes have the American flag on them, and that you should feel icky about the United States doing well in the Olympics. What the fuck? What in the actual fuck? I mean, seriously.
Yeah. I'm not going to step on that landmine today, but
Not, well, let's go back to football. Let's transition this in a way to football. So the argument still with the Bears and the stadium debacle. Like, look, dude, you're the state of Illinois. You had 3 years where the Bears went to you exclusively and said, "Let's get something done. Let's get this stadium built. Look, we're going to set the bar really low here. We are going to pay for the entire friggin' stadium. $3 billion we're putting up. We're putting up, hear that number again, $3 billion of our own money to build the stadium. By the way, we also own the land. All you need to do is infrastructure, which is the function of government. And we would like a tax rate commensurate to what other sports franchises receive, not just in the city of Chicago, but across the NFL, with the high point being SoFi being taxed, like $9 million a year. And the state of Illinois' response was, we ain't got time for you. We don't want to hear it. And then you can build it, but the tax is going to be north of $200 million a year. Not $9 million a year like what they're paying in LA. So when the Bears then go and say, well, you know what? Maybe we'll talk to Northwest Indiana. So, oh my God. And you know what the argument is, Joe? Well, the governor needs to protect the taxpayers' dollars. Huh?
Yeah, because in this situation, the Bears are actually the taxpayers, because they would be paying the taxes, and 0 tax dollars are being spent other than to provide infrastructure to a revenue-generating monster. Like, it's just, that's the way that they can get off without having they pretend that they care about their constituents. Meanwhile, they have no problem spending hundreds of millions of dollars on hotels for illegals and suing ICE.
Even besides that point, right? The argument, well, they need to protect the taxpayer dollars. Like, okay, well, right now the Bears pay 0 in property tax to the state of Illinois for the stadium that they currently reside in. They do generate hundreds of millions, if not about $1 billion a year in tax revenue for the state in jock tax.
Maybe not tax revenue, but taxable revenue, right?
Oh, yeah, it's taxable revenue. Yeah, taxable revenue. Like in jock tax they generate, because if the Bears don't play in Chicago, there's no jock tax revenue. If the Bears don't play in Chicago, there's no revenue made from the Andy Frames,
concessions, parking,
concessions,
restaurants, hotels, Subway or Metro.
Exactly. All of that, plus, the other money they bring to town that gets taxed because of tourism and stuff like that. But doing infrastructure to improve the area, which is government function, not doing that. Good morning, JB. Would be, I guess, wasting taxpayer dollars. Now, granted, if the Bears move to Indiana, now you've lost not only all the job creation, all the taxable revenue, not just for the building of the stadium site, But then of all the years that follow of the taxable revenues that would be generated, um, I mean, come on. And here's the sad thing: it's falling along political lines as as usual right now. Like, can people not learn from the state of Indiana, who said, you know what, Democrat, Republican, let's put aside a sports franchise in Northwest Indiana is good for everyone in this state. Like, they get it. Sports transcend. Business, good business is good business. It doesn't matter what political party's flag you wave. If it's good business, it's good business. And they're willing to pony up not just the land, not just the infrastructure, not just the tax break, but $2 billion of their own money, of their taxpayers' money, to fund the stadium.
Yep.
I mean, come on. Yeah, R.I.P. Kev Braxton. I saw it this morning. That's sad as well. Another athlete dies. I don't understand the stadium deal, but you got like David White, who this kid guy, if he's not high on something all the time, he's making outlandish claims. The Bears are never moving. We talked about that, JB. The Bears are never moving. Really? Because it looks like the ball's on the 10-yard line in the red zone, and Indiana's driving for the victory. Because they've got until Friday to figure this out.
Yeah. I don't think Chicago will even make a serious counteroffer. Personally, I think they'll wait for the Bears to sign the deal, and then they'll immediately take them to court and try to sue them for trying to leave, just like Oakland did with the Raiders.
Which is just wasting more taxpayer dollars.
Yeah.
But we spent $350 million on the Obama Presidential Museum, which is an eyesore and generates no revenue. But hey, I just think it's funny how bad the city of Chicago is handling. Or not just the city of Chicago, because they're out of it, right? It has nothing to do with the city of Chicago. They're out of it. Brandon Johnson can cry all he wants. The city has no say. It's Arlington Heights, Cook County, and the state. Arlington Heights and the surrounding neighbors, Rolling Meadows, Palatine, Buffalo Grove, Wheeling, they're all like, get this done. Right? Hoffman Estates, Schaumburg, get this done. The county is kind of, well, look, they do whatever the city wants. Because, well, the city's their biggest tenant. Got it. And the state's just being stupid. And Pritzker's being stupid. Pritzker attacking the Bears last week. Like, that really is going to endear them to want to stay in Illinois. I was blindsided. No, you weren't. You were given the heads up the day before, because that's how they do it these days. The political grandstanding is just redonkulous. And now you're going to blame the Bears and trash talk the Chicago Bears, who have been trying to talk to you for 3 years to get a stadium deal. And now you're acting all surprised when they're looking elsewhere?
They're just following the blueprint, Ken. Like, the blueprint was established in Oakland by Mayor Libby Schaaf. Like, she swore up and down, we're not going to spend a single dime of taxpayer money on funding this stadium. And the Raiders were like, okay, that's fine. We don't want taxpayer money for the stadium. Like, right. Mark Davis went and he literally liquidated his half of his controlling interest in the team to put up $500 million. The NFL gave him a loan for $200 million, and then he had another private investment group that was going to throw in another $200 million. And all they wanted was the land that the stadium is on, so they could knock it down and build. And then these private investors were going to build like shopping centers, hotels, like they were going to build the infrastructure themselves, and they were going to own it. And they donate the land that the stadium was on.
Oh, but Joe, wait, that reminds me, it gets even better. Because Indiana, in that deal, they're not only doing the infrastructure, giving the Bears the tax break that they were asking for, like the other, like every other team in the NFL gets. The land, yeah, the state of Indiana owns it, and by the way, the Bears will control it and eventually own it. Because the rent-to-own situation. I mean, I'm sorry, I gotta give massive kudos to the politicians in the state of Indiana for putting their political parties aside to actually do something that's good for their state without political infighting. Like,
dude, it's gonna bring hundreds of thousands of jobs, or at least thousands of, probably tens of thousands of jobs. Like when you count all the hotels, when you count like everything all together, it's going to be
Restaurants, bars, shops,
yeah, tens of
stadiums.
thousands of jobs, dude.
Yeah. And look, I think it's a matter of time. Even though the Bears just put $100 million in the renovating Hallis Hall and making changes there, I think it'd only be a matter of time within years, 3 to 4 years, maybe 5 years after the Bears were to build their new stadium in Hammond, that Hallis Hall moves to Indiana. Because if
And
you
here,
think
yeah,
about it, why would you want to be taxed in 2 states?
no, you
You
don't.
can't have.
And I would just move Hallis Hall, immediately, like as soon as the stadium is viable. And then on top of that, here's the other thing: is all those people in Chicago that are now going to lose their jobs because the Bears are moving. Uh, where are those people at? They should be in front of the
Indiana.
mayor's office.
They'll
No,
move to
they.
Indiana. Because you know what? Indiana, the housing will be cheaper for them to get there. The property taxes are less. They're taxed across the board. They're taxed lower than Illinois. It's actually a better cost of living there. I mean, people are going to migrate, which they already are migrating to Indiana. Well, now even more people will migrate to Indiana, which means Pritzker will have to figure out some other tax to tax the residents of Illinois on to make up for the loss that the city of Chicago and the state is going to take. And look, it's so bad right now. You've got counties, especially in Southern Illinois, that want to leave the state of Illinois. It's kind of like a California, Northern California situation, where right part of Northern California wants to leave California. Yeah, you're seeing that in Illinois now. Now, I'm sorry, but I don't see anywhere in the state of Florida or Texas where counties want to leave the state. I- this should be a unifying thing in Illinois. Like, let's keep the Bears here, right? Let's keep the Bears. Hold on, let me go to Jonathan's comment here. Jonathan says, I'm sorry, I hope they change their name and let Chicago keep the name. Dude, I don't get that comment at all, Jonathan. That comment makes zero sense to me. They are the Chicago Bears. The city doesn't get to keep the team name. I mean, you're talking like a la Cleveland Browns when they moved to Baltimore, completely different. They're literally just moving 30 miles away from their current stadium, and it happens to be across state lines. The Kansas City Chiefs are still going to be the Kansas City Chiefs, even though they no longer play in Kansas City proper, but in Kansas City, in Kansas, Missouri, in Kansas State. Sorry. The New York Jets and the New York Giants, they're headquartered and play in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Well, the Giants are headquartered in East Rutherford. I forgot where the Jets are headquartered, but they're still the New York teams. San Francisco 49ers don't play in San Francisco. They play in Santa Clara. The Dallas Cowboys don't play in Dallas. They play in a different town altogether. I mean, keep the name. No, the team. I'm sorry. The team name goes with the team. They are still the Chicago Bears. They are still in the Chicago metropolitan area. They, by the way, own the naming rights, Chicago Bears, per trademark and the NFL. So the name's not going to change. That's the other stupid argument. They need to change their name. No, they don't. No, it can't, JB, because they're already bitching about it today. It was too patriotic. Oh my God. The director of the FBI was at the game, and God forbid the team wanted to celebrate with him and have a phone call with the president after the game. So now they're all bad Americans for talking to the president. I can't make this shit up. I seriously, dude, I just can't make this shit up. No, Cam, they're not for sure moving, and that's the thing about this. It's like, the Bears are not for sure moving. The state of Illinois, look, I've said this over and over again. The Chicago Bears have set the bar so freaking low. Hey, Illinois, give us the $9 million a year property tax rate that the Rams have, or similar money to what the Cubs are paying for Wrigley, or what the White Sox pay for the Cell, or what the Bulls and Blackhawks pay for the UC, which is about, they pay like $3 million a year in taxes, right? We're not paying $200 million a year. That's the bottom line. They don't want to pay $200 million a year, which is the state wants them to pay, which is more than any professional sports franchise that owns a stadium anywhere in this country, and more than any other sports franchise in the state. So they've said, just give us the right now. You make no tax dollars off us. Well, now you can make $9 million a year. Nice number, right? And you're going to make hundreds of millions more in taxable revenue. And then do the infrastructure, which is your job as government. Improve the infrastructure of the surrounding area. And the state won't do it.
Which is crazy to me because they're missing the big picture. Like when you look at the taxable revenue that's created, it's not just from people going to the hotels. It's not just from people, staying in the hotels, visiting the restaurants, going to the games, parking and all that, even though that's all part of it. All those jobs that are created, they all pay income tax too. Like they all pay state income tax. So the people who get jobs at the hotels because of this deal, they're going to pay taxes. You're missing out on that tax income too. Like you're getting it every which way you want it. You're literally you have your hand in so many different pots, but you're like, nah, we would rather just take 200 million from the Bears. Like,
I honestly hope Cam and Jonathan and other Bears fans watching this, I honestly hope that the state of Illinois pulls their head out of their fifth point of contact, stops this political posturing and political theater and trying to make this a Democrat Republican. Because now JV Picture is even trying to blame Donald Trump for the Bears possibly moving. No, stop all this bullshit. The Bears are giving you such an easy bar to meet compared to what other places are paying for stadiums for their pro teams. Look at the deal that just happened in Cincinnati where that government's paying hundreds of millions of dollars to redo a stadium. How much did upstate New York pay for
the Bills?
The Bills, okay, Woody will be on kneecap right after us today instead of JB who's sick. Programming note there. Seriously. I hope they get it together and they can put all this political bullshit aside.
I think it's done with, Ken. I honestly, there's no way that they can. I'm not going to say there's no way, but based on what they're doing right now and the fact that the deadline is Friday, I don't think that there's any way they're going to get a viable proposal on the table that the Bears are willing to accept by Friday.
No, and the supermajority in Illinois won't vote for it. That's just it. It's become a Republican-Democrat issue. The Republicans are like, yes, please, we need to keep the Bears. And Dems like, no, we got to protect taxpayer money by losing the Bears. God, I hate supermajorities. California has one. Florida has one. And even though it's Republican, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, me neither.
Because when you have a supermajority, stupid stuff tends to happen eventually. It may not be happening in Florida now. It could happen, but we've seen it happen in California. We're seeing it happen in real time in Illinois right now with the Bears. When it comes to stuff like this, and then you got the other stuff, but I don't understand the stupidity and maybe they didn't feel the pressure, but you know what? Dude, if the Bears move, there's going to be a revolution in Illinois on some level. You're taking the pride and joy of Illinois, as it even says in the fight song. It's over 100 years old. And now it's going to be the pride and joy of the team next to Illinois or the state next to Illinois or however they're going to redo the lyric. It's just the pride and joy of the team formerly in Illinois. And
you're talking about one of the pioneer NFL franchises. Yeah. Like, it's not like the Jacksonville Jaguars are moving, dude. It's like, no, you're talking about a team that's been in Chicago for over 100 years.
The Jaguars are getting a new stadium. And by the way, the state, we are paying for some of it here. And no one's complaining. You know why? Because we understand how much revenue it brings. You bring a Super Bowl to Chicago, that's hundreds of millions of dollars. On one event. And the state of Illinois and these idiots are going, we have to protect the taxpayer dollars. What? First off, what drugs are you smoking? And if they're that good, can we all please get some? If it's going to distort reality that much, my God. We can't even get into player news, which there hasn't really been much. Unfortunately, we had the suicide of the kid from the Vikings, and that's gotten swept under the rug. They don't
That's a
want to talk
sad
about
story, man.
it. It is.
Like
Um,
he got injured and dude, you know, it's like he never got a chance to really. He got signed to that big contract and then got injured again. That's just, man. And Hollywood Brown came out and made a post about it. Like he was really close with the dude, and he tried to he tried to counsel him and tried to be a friend to him, but just that it's tough for guys like for guys like that, because you always feel like there's more you could have done, and it's like you really couldn't, but there's all you just feel that way. You feel a natural sense of guilt about it, and so I hope for his sake he goes and gets some counseling about it, and
yeah. I mean,
not
Hollywood
that I
Brown,
think
though,
he's
man.
gonna like kill himself over it or
No,
something, but I
Hollywood
just
Brown,
you don't need
he
to carry that, you know what I mean?
he's a pretty resilient dude. Look at his career. You can tell Hollywood Brown's a pretty resilient dude.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I still
but
think he should
yeah,
go get some counseling over it, and just so that he doesn't blame himself or that he doesn't feel like there's more he could have done. It's like you tried, man.
since the
You know?
Super Bowl, since actually the AFC NFC Championship week, the NFL has been nothing but bad news. Whether it be suicides, the halftime show, which was abysmal.
Well, I don't know. The
Uh,
Raiders got Clint Kubiak. That's some pretty good news for us.
well,
You know,
yeah. Um,
that's some good news. But yeah, I agree with you. It's been dominated by bad news.
Broski, we have a Broski bear. How's it going up there in Canada, eh? Are your new neighbors hating you because Team USA won yesterday? Um, and we haven't even heard Broski talk about the Bears stadium situation. I have a feeling we'd probably be of like mind. Um, yeah, maybe football is too toxic for the state of Illinois. I don't know. Maybe the Blackhawks need to move too. I mean, oh, dude, I don't get it, Joe, man. I mean, sports used to be our last refuge, and now they're not.
It's infecting everywhere, dude.
I'm
Oh,
just fed
honestly,
up.
I
I'm
hope
fed
that
up,
there's
man.
something.
Dude,
I
like,
hope that there's something that can galvanize the country again, like that can bring people together. But it
you
just
would
seems,
think yesterday would have. But you
yeah,
got the Huffington Post out there, posting articles about how it's okay to feel icky that we did well and that people are proud to represent the United States of America. You've got people who are upset because a member of the cabinet was at the game. Like, I'm sorry. How many big international sporting events have we seen politicians, members of cabinets go to games before? And it's no big deal. Now all of a sudden it's the end of time because Kash Patel, who's a big hockey fan and has been a big supporter of USA Hockey forever, is not only at the game but invited into the locker room by the team to celebrate with them.
mhm.
And oh my God, this is terrible bad news. And then they get on the phone with the president, and they all are like, "Yes, we'll come to the State of the Union. We'll come to the White House and hang with you, Mr. President. We love you." Oh my God, they're terrible. Kick them out of the country. Re-
Yeah. Remember when like getting a phone call from the president, even if it wasn't a president that you particularly liked, that used to like not everybody
Yeah,
gets a phone call from the freaking president of the United States, dude. Like whether you like the guy or not, like it's like you get a phone call from the president that's a lifetime experience, dude. Like,
yeah.
you know.
Like, dude, I don't care if it was Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. If you get a call from the president, you're getting a call from the freaking president of the United States.
From the leader of
You're
the
being
free
offered an
world.
invitation to do something that less than 0.05% of the country will ever get or do. And
Mhm.
that's probably a high number, right? I mean, who cares if you don't agree with them politically? It's the symbolism attached. I mean, do you think when Robert Kraft went to the White House when Democrats were in office, he liked those presidents? No, we know he didn't, but they went anyway. It's
Yeah.
something you do. You go, you know what? You go receive the honor.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, like when I was a kid, right? Like, I used to get these awards for math. Like, when I was a kid, Clinton was in office, and he used to have these mathematical excellence awards that went to like the top 10 or 15% of kids in the country, like when they for testing in math and some other subjects. And like, you know, I just thought it was cool. Like I got an award from the president of the United States, and it's not even like he actually signed it himself, you know, but it was like
Right.
I felt honored just by that. Like, you know, it's like
It's beyond me. This is all just I can't get the controversies over the game yesterday itself, the post game celebration on the ice, the post game celebration off the ice, all controversial and oh my god, so terrible. And then this whole Bears Stadium thing, and
it's
then you get a player who's committed suicide, and they're like, yeah, whatever. The media doesn't even cover it. They're like, yeah, this kid committed suicide, big deal. By the way, let's talk about stuff that it just I just yeah, I'm losing it, man. This is why I love being retired. I don't have to deal with the media watching it. But yeah, there you go.
well,
You
maybe
salute the rank, not the man. Thank you, Fred. And I've met major winners. What a great dude he was. It's like even our last refuge of sports. Like, dude, the World Cup's going to be here this summer. It's going to be nothing but political fucking pageantry, man. Like the city of Seattle's already doing Gay Pride Night for Iran. Was it Iraq? No, it's Iran versus. It's two Muslim countries where being gay is actually punishable by death, and they want to make that the Gay Pride game. And these countries are like, we're not going to play that game in Seattle. And FIFA's like, Seattle, what's up? And Seattle's like, we're going to do it. And they're like, well, we might, then Seattle might actually lose the World Cup. There's discussion of moving the games out of Seattle now to a different location because of politics. Just respect the games. Let them play games. Not every game has to have a political connotation. Like, I'm sorry. I mean, especially on an international level. And they're already people. The Democrats are bitching about the World Cup already. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like the biggest sporting event in the friggin' world, bigger than the Olympics. Let me say that again, bigger than the Olympics. It's the biggest sporting event in the world, and political parties here are losing their minds over it. And can't we just enjoy our sports, man?
what's going on with Ken?
He has a family thing. I'll tell you after the show. He'll be
Okay.
back tomorrow. It's
So,
just
do
beyond
we have
me,
any
man.
news in free agency yet? Any re-signings or?
No, nothing for the Bears. Well, I'll look. The Bears. Nashawn Wright is interested in re-signing with the Bears, but his contract's gonna be worth 16, 17 mil a year. So I don't know if the Bears can. And then there's a bunch of clickbait for restructuring. The Bears have a lot of people that can restructure. Mike Evans, of course, he's in the, because he's a free agent again, so people are going to talk about that. The Dolphins are shopping Mika Fitzpatrick. That's out there because the Dolphins are cleaning house.
Ooh, actually, that's interesting.
Next,
If I'm the Raiders, I
is.
might kick the tires on Minka Fitzpatrick.
Well, then the next article was that the Raiders that the Raiders might be asking for 2 firsts for Max. That hasn't died down yet. And
I just saw another one. I saw another one about Max where they took apparently Max, according to the article, Max was at the facility to have a meeting, an evening meeting with Tom Brady, and it supposedly got heated to where they were photographed outside, and it's like, oh, they were in a heated confrontation. But when you look at the picture, it looks like Max is holding a cup of coffee and they're sitting there talking. It didn't look heated at all.
Hey, Joe, wait. Not only has Broski Bear gone north, now he's got a new symbol. Is that the Canadian Broski Bear?
No, Broski's still in the States, man. But
okay.
Yeah, man. But yeah, it's one of those things, man. I was listening to the show, and it's like you sound just as frustrated with all this bullshit that I am. You kind of remind me of me on that. We might disagree with a lot about football, but as far as like the country and this political BS, man, yeah, I'm just as frustrated about it as you. And all my criticism of the McCaskies and everything over the years, like, hey, you guys can make up for it, in a lot of ways if you actually have the balls to move to Indiana. I'll respect that tremendously. Get out of that. Get out of that socialist hellhole known as Illinois.
Well, dude, Broski, that's the other thing. People are saying the McCaskey should sell the Bears so they stay in Illinois.
Do you know how much money they're going to make? How much more money they're going to make if they just see this build go through and then sell after that? Oh my God! Like, woof! They're going to, yeah. So
they're already worth
like these.
The Bears are already worth like $8 billion, right? The Bears are already worth like $8 billion. So if they build this stadium, they're going to be worth like $12 billion, dude. Like,
dude, their fans they're like. They have to sell the team. Like, first off, you can't make them sell the team. Secondly, why the hell would they sell the team with what you guys both just said? It would make 0 sense for the Bears to actually do anything of the sort. Yeah. I mean, just
it's like you're sitting on Fort Knox full of gold, right? And the gold prices just keep going up and up and up, and you're sitting there looking at it like, and people are like, oh, they should sell. It's like, nah, we'll just hold, thanks.
Yeah, or you're Alberta in Canada and you're sitting on all this oil and all this rare earth, but you're not allowed to drill or mine or build a pipeline. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah. Yeah. Or you could be like Joe Biden, come in and all the oil and stuff that we had going, you just shut it down when you become president, and then we could start buying it from Iran and Russia. Yeah, I mean, that's a good plan too, because that's what happens. Yeah.
This whole stadium thing is just. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's $8.2 billion according to Forbes, but David also believes that the state of Illinois is already ponying up all the money. And I keep asking, so they're going to be $800 million in tax breaks. Well, that covers like 5 years, not even. So,
yeah, like,
I mean,
can you imagine them paying a $200 million a year property tax? Because that's essentially what it would be. Like, even
that's what it is. That's what it's going to be right now.
That's like 10%.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like 10%.
And honestly, that's probably going to go up. So it's like, even libtarded Mexican, like, we hate the United States, Los Angeles. The Rams only pay like $8 million a year in property tax.
They're capped at $9 million.
Yeah, something like that, right?
And you know what? The Rams pay the highest property tax in the NFL. For sports franchises that own stadiums, like if you look at Wrigley, they pay like $3 million was the number. If you look at the UC, it's about $3 million. If you look at the U.S. Cellular, it's about $3 million. So the Bears are even like, hey, we'll even go with $9 million, which is 3 times as much as the other stadiums in the state of Illinois.
Uh-huh.
And the state's still like, no, we need 200, and we're not going to do infrastructure, which is anywhere between $700 and $900 million in taxpayer dollars is spent to do infrastructure, which, by the way, is government's function to do. And would it do more than just help the Bears Stadium project? It would help the entire northwest suburb. But they want the Bears to pay for all the infrastructure too.
Yeah,
what up, it's JB.
How do you tell someone to go F themselves without telling them to go F themselves? Like, I mean, that's simply what it is. Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, crazy, man.
It's simple, broski. You say, yeah, we have your offer, we're considering it, and then you just move to Indiana.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I want the Bears to be done with this by Friday, because that's they kind of already set a deadline of Friday, because that's when Indiana's government has their last day in session. But I want the Bears to be able to start looking forward to the stuff that Broski and I like to disagree on from time to time: personnel movement and player stuff and team stuff. Like, are we gonna whose contracts are we going to do anything with Edmonds' contract? Are we going to do anything with restructures? Free agency. I want to get into that. The stadium deal just needs to be done so the Bears can move forward and we can start. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ryan Poles and his staff are doing their thing, right? But this is still a major distraction. Good morning, Will.
Yeah, I mean, it's over 4 years into it. They don't even know where they're going to build it yet. Like, what the hell?
Morning, guys, by the way. I'll
Yeah.
join you guys earlier tomorrow.
What was that, Will?
If shoot me the link earlier tomorrow, I'll be on earlier probably.
Well, it's the same link every day, Will.
Oh, cool.
Um,
I wanted to ask you something, Ken.
Yeah.
So lately I've seen these stupid ESPN articles. I don't know if they're true or not. They're like, "Oh, the Bears need to trade DJ Moore for X, Y, and Z." What do you think?
This is Broski and I will disagree and agree probably both in multiple different facets of this argument. So I'm of the group that look at you don't trade DJ Moore if you don't have to, and you keep DJ Moore because he adds a lot to that receiving core. Just by him being boots on the field creates opportunities for Roma Dunze and Luther Burden III, right? Because you spread defenses more. His
You know
contract
what?
is
Oh, go ahead.
his contract is team friendly. So I wouldn't get rid of DJ Moore just to get rid of DJ Moore. Now, if it's part of a Max Crosby deal, I might be more like, this could be interesting because while I take away from the offensive side of the ball a little bit, I'm obviously adding to the defensive side of the ball, creating more equilibrium on the team, so to speak. I know some fans have issue with certain things, perceived things about DJ Moore, and everyone goes back to the Cardinals game from 2 years ago. And I get that frustration day that he had, and that was not a good look. And then people go to the last play against the Rams where he ran the route. Caleb wanted to go flat. He didn't go flat. And their communication during the play, for whatever reason, failed them. And the perception that he loafed it or whatever, I can get that. However, he does so many. People also forget he was the dagger in both Packer games. And he does a lot of other things on this team. In the receiving room, he's well liked in the locker room and by staff. So he's not a problem in that term. He's not a cancer as far as we can tell. So yeah, I think it's an easy name to throw out there because the Bears are so rich at wide receiver with having Luther Burden III, who was the most efficient route runner in the NFL last year, and Roma Dunze. But at the same time, it's not something the Bears have to do. What do you think, Broski?
Yeah, I mean,
So
there's
I'm
two
gonna
sides to every trade.
Go ahead, Bruce.
It's one of those things. DJ Moore, he's a good player. He is a good value, like 25 mil a year for a number one receiver is a good deal. Yeah, I don't like his attitude. I had issues with it for a couple of years now. I have no problem trading him if it's a good deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds kind of like broad in general, but no, like I'm not going to give a talented player like him away just to get him off the team. Absolutely not. But if it's like that Robert Max Crosby deal, or maybe there's another deal that pops up and it's a good deal. It's a trade. It should really benefit both sides to some degree, right? Like they're giving you something you need that they have an overabundance in, possibly for something that they need that you might have an overabundance in. It's the definition of a trade. That's my two cents.
So in my opinion, from looking on the outside, because you guys know I'm not a Bears fan, I'd keep him because he's your most veteran receiver, and just wait and see how this year goes. If he has a good year, then field offers. If he has a down year,
and Will, I think we're both all Broski and I are in the same boat with that. Like, unless it's like a Max Crosby kind of impact deal, he's not on the table.
I think it has to be like an impact player for an impact player kind of deal.
I mean, and I'm not talking like a running back who might last a year or two. It's got to be like an edge guy. It's got to be another impact guy. And Broski and I maybe disagree a little bit about DJ's attitude, because I think he has an overall good attitude for the Bears, minus that one instance in Arizona. And I get it. It's hard to let that go, and I don't blame people for holding on to that. But the guy brings a lot more to the table. But it's like I said, it's low-hanging fruit for the clickbaiters because the Bears are so rich at that position group that it makes sense. He's the most expensive of the three receivers. Two guys on rookie contracts and DJ. But here's what they also fail to look at. DJ's under contract through the 2030 season.
Yep.
They've got this wide receiving core. This is going to be year 3 of Rome. They got 2 more years of guaranteed if they do the fifth year option on Rome, which right now it appears they would. You have at least 2 more seasons of the current top 3 receivers in Chicago. right? And Rome's
Yeah.
going to get an extension probably. Or this will be year 3 of Rome. I'm sorry. So you've got 3 more years of Roma Dunze. You've got 4 more years of 3 more years of Luther Burden, second round pick, only a 4-year rookie deal. So you've got at least 2 more years before you really got to worry about extensions for your other young receivers, and they're all locked up. I mean, the Bears are in no way, shape, or form in a place where they have to make a deal for DJ either.
Mhm.
And DJ's contract is leveled off. It's going to cost the same every year now until the end of contract. So that contract is going to the value is going to look better and better every year, especially if his play stays at a close enough level to what it's been. There will be drop off. He's getting older, but as long as it's close, that's going to look like in 2 years, DJ Moore is going to look like a really good deal.
Yeah, and never get me wrong, DJ Moore makes plays. Like, you can ask the Packers about that. Like, the guy does make plays. He's a very talented player. There's no denying that. So, and like what you said, Ken, my concern is more like not his stats or whatever he's going to put up, because there's a lot of targets on the Bears now. They got to spread that ball around. I mean, he's not going to be the sole focus. You know what I mean? The primary focus. So it's more about his ability, what you see out there. Like, oh, can you tell that he's losing a step in speed, or, does he drop way too many passes now because he's getting older or something like that? You know what I mean? That's my concern.
And the same thing goes, and well, let me get ahead of you, Cole Kmet. The Bears don't have a tight end 2 without Cole Kmet. And it's weird to say Cole Kmet tight end 2, but let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Our tight end 2 is better than a lot of teams' tight end 1.
Yeah.
And he's relatively cheap at $10 million.
Yeah, like out of all those guys, like I named before the season, I was like, yeah, don't be surprised if the Bears get rid of him, get rid of him, get rid of him. Out of all those guys, like the one player I would like to see them keep is Cole Kmet. So what I was going to say is that if for some odd reason, which I don't think it will, but let's just throw it out there, if it came down to like keeping DJ Moore or Cole Kmet, I'm keeping Cole Kmet, because having those 2 tight ends in that offense is so valuable.
So Yinzer comes up because your 3 players were this guy, one of them. Edmonds was one of them. Cole Kmet and Swift. I think Swift and Cole Kmet are back. Edmonds is questionable, but Edmonds, there's a lot of different pieces to it. He's hurt. He's on the IR. So you could cut him and save a bunch of money and then pay a settlement, which won't count against the cap. Fine. You could restructure him, which he did play well for the Bears this year. So maybe if you could restructure his deal, make it more cap friendly, that he could stay on the roster. Or you go the Dio route, which I think is what they're going to do with Dio, is the dude's never to come off the IR, which means the Bears get Dio's $20 million to do whatever they want with in terms of cap spending. So there are a lot of options there with that too.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
And these are the things I'd rather be spending the Bears be focusing on than this whole stadium bullshit.
Yeah, and I have a nickname for Colston Loveland, by the way. Not
What's
sure
that?
if you guys knew that. I call him Third and Loveland. Because when it's third down, it's no longer 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 15. It's 3rd and Loveland. You just throw him the goddamn ball. First down.
Yeah,
Hey, I wanted to see before, because Brosi hasn't been on in a while. So Brosi, what do you think of Fernando Mendoza as a draft prospect compared to like the last few quarterback classes? I know that the quarterback class itself is weak, but what do you think of Fernando Mendoza as a prospect?
I like the kid. Now here's the thing. I compare him to Will Howard, and I compare him to Tyler Shuck, the 2 guys I liked in the draft last year. Now, Tyler Shuck was a 2nd-round pick, and Will Howard, I think, was a 5th-round pick. So, again, like if you want to go back to like the philosophy of the draft, it doesn't really matter where you get the guys as long as you hit on the guy.
Yeah.
Hey, if you got to take him 1st overall, I have no problem with the Raiders taking him 1st overall. You got to set him up for success, though. You know what I mean?
I'm going
like the
to touch
kid.
on that. I'm going to touch on that real quick. I don't think there's really I think there's, personally, in my opinion, there's a big drop off after that. Who's the next quarterback? Because I don't think Ty Simpson's that good.
I agree.
Let me say something about this with the quarterbacks. And there's drop off and this, that, and the other. Because the last couple of years of the draft, this argument gets thrown out. Well, there's huge drop off after the top 3 receivers. Okay, and after that draft, the top receiver wasn't even one of the top 3 receivers in that year's game.
Yeah.
Look at the quarterback class that Caleb came out of. After Caleb and Jaden Daniels, there's big drop off. Tell that to Drake May. Tell that to Bo Nix. Tell that to, well, we'll see what's up.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was gonna throw JJ in there, but it's like, oh wait.
Well, and JJ's had the injury bug, which is another story, and we'll see. Maybe JJ turns it around.
Dude,
Or with running backs,
go.
well, after Bijan, there's no one really. I mean,
Gibbs.
the drop off argument, I hate that argument too. It's almost like generational talent. It's thrown around too much. Look at Kyle Monangai, 7th round pick, could have been the offensive rookie of the year, and probably was to a lot of people. 7th round pick, but there's a lot of drop off between the 1st and 7th round. Yeah, there is. Yet this 7th rounder, and when you look at like quality NFL players that consistently get big contracts, and you look where they're drafted, it's surprising that most of them aren't 1st round guys. They're 3rd and 4th round guys.
Yeah.
So I hate these drop off arguments when we talk about the draft. Look at the draft. I've always said this, and this is one argument I have not changed in decades. It's like a game of roulette. It's hit or miss. There's no science to it. It's like throwing the ball, throwing a number down on the roulette bet, and maybe you hit, maybe you don't. At best, you can call it like betting black or betting red. In the 1st round, it's about a 50-50 predicament of whether that guy's going to hit. About that, right? And after that, it's all just so. I hate when we talk about the draft. Well, the drop off between this quarterback, dude. I get it as a way to justify why, to justify how you feel about a certain player, but in reality,
Yeah, exactly. No, my response to that is like not necessarily like just because like there's not necessarily going to be drop off between even a 1st round player and a 7th round player. Like there's so many whiffs on the 1st round players anyway. Though obviously you hit on more 1st round players than you do 7th round players. Not saying that, but I'm just saying the percentage is high enough where you're going to miss on a lot too. So what's not to say, it won't be the other way. But for like the Raiders, it's like you're bringing in a new head coach, you're bringing in an offensive head coach. I would be shocked if they don't draft Mendoza. I'd be shocked, honestly. To me, that's a lock.
And you got to give him an offensive line, and you got to give him a wide receiver, which he doesn't have right now. You've got a good tight end. You've got a running back that Broski and I didn't want in Chicago, but we'll see how he does next year. And look, at Chicago didn't need him. Obviously, Monangai worked out for us, and Swift is working out for us. And I like Swift's attitude in Chicago. I like his gameplay in Chicago, and I see no reason for the Bears to move on from him. Money is going to become an issue in Chicago, but we're not there yet. And that's the other mentality I think needs to change in Chicago, and why we need to get the stadium deal done. Because the mentality in Chicago with some fans is like we're still selling and building. Guys, we're in a window now. Now we're looking for that piece. We're not looking to take away from our starting lineups. We're looking to add pieces to our starting lineup. Like an edge rusher, right? If we, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking like in years past. Let's get rid of this receiver and try this one. No, we know what works now. We have a working solution offensively. We need to fix part of our defense, right? And the mentality needs to change it with some of the fan base in Chicago. And you know what? I think you're going to see that with the Raiders. You're going to see that with Carolina. You're starting to see that with Carolina a little bit too. Yeah. And we'll have to dig into that tomorrow on tomorrow morning show, because we are about out of time. And we get to go see Woody Bach over on JB's show on Kneecap Biting Time. The Lions, as they get ready to do he gets ready to step in for a 6 JB today. Great discussion, dude. I hope we can get back to sports being sports. Can we please just get a stadium deal done? Can we stop bitching about people watching the U.S. men's hockey team and all? I mean, can we just get back to sports being sports again, please?
Yeah.
But thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Broski. Thank you, Will. We'll see you all back here tomorrow morning. Have a great day, everyone.